I just recently read an article by Training Peaks about how to avoid muscle cramps. I thought it was really good, so I'm going to make a video just, quickly summing up the points that the article made, and I'm going to link it down below. So if you're interested in, checking out the full article and actually learning a little bit more about it, you can definitely go and check that out. So, start off, the article talks about how there's basically two different theories, okay? Oh, we're falling over here. There we go. So the article talks about how there's basically just two different theories on how muscle cramps started, or how they become when you're training. And the first one is dehydration or an electrolyte imbalance. And this was basically the first theory that came around. It's the one that's been most studied. There's been the most amount of studies been made on it. It's been, widely looked at scientifically, and it was the original reason why people thought we had muscle cramps while you're running or cycling and all that. Cramps in general affect 40 to 95% of us. So the majority of people out there have had a cramp at least once in a while, or some people are prone to them all the time. So there's definitely you definitely want to get rid of them, because it really sucks when you're training and you get a cramp. It might ruin your whole day. It might bring you down. So second theory is a neuromuscular theory, and that is that your muscles have been overworked or overstressed for so long that they stop firing properly, essentially. So that's the other way you get cramps. So the real question is, which one's right? Well, it might be just a little bit of both. That's what the article said, is that you shouldn't just say either this theory or this theory. You should try to take the advice and avoid both ways of getting cramps, and that might be the best way to really approach avoiding muscle cramps. So what can you do to avoid muscle cramps? The article sums it up at the bottom, and essentially is try to reduce your fatigue. So don't try to push yourself too hard throughout your race or your training. As you fatigue yourself more and more, you're going to be more prone to the neuromuscular type of cramps. That's going to be the type of cramps that's going to be in your muscles, leg cramps, calf cramps, things like that. And usually you can try to stretch and get rid of those cramps, just like stretch them out and then try to go back again. Second thing that you can do is to train specifically for your intended race. So if you want to do a half marathon or a marathon specific, maybe an Ironman triathlon, train your body to get used to that distance at the intensity that you desire. So don't just go out and do, a bunch of random training all over the place and then decide to go out and do a race that your body's not used to at all, and then will probably freak out and give you a cramp, right? So get used to running. Like for me, I'm doing half Ironman triathlons. That means I'm going to be running my half marathon, because that's the most area that I'm prone to going to be cramping. It's going to be during the run of the triathlon, and my run for the half marathon portion of the race is going to be at a 4:20, 4:30 pace. So I am training my body to run at a 4:30 kilometer pace really well. So when it comes to that race, I'm going to be much more used to it. My body's going to be more used to it, and it's not going to, it's not going to freak out. It's not going to have that fatigue, that shock factor, and it's going to be more used to doing that rate, that speed. Next thing you can do, or you should be doing, is taper. Make sure that you actually taper for your race. It's going to reduce the amount of prolonged fatigue that you have built up in your body. And the fourth thing, and one of the most important things, is to fuel properly. So fueling properly, you just got to make sure that you're actually replenishing your electrolytes. So you want to make sure you're replenishing your water, and also you're replenishing your sodium. It's very, very important. So just a little quick story. The last half Ironman that I did, I cramped so hard on the run. I didn't know what was going on, and I had never taken a sodium tablet or a pill in my life. And I was running through 8 stations, just cramping so bad, and one of the runners behind me said, "You should take a sodium pill." So at the next aid station, I took a sodium pill, and boom, the cramps went right away. About 5 minutes later, they were gone, never came back again, and that's all I needed. So even though I was drinking a lot of electrolyte drinks, I don't think I was replenishing the amount of sodium that I needed. I needed a little more of a top-up. So always make sure that you are on top of your fueling, and whatever that strategy is, make sure you actually practice that strategy out in training, so when it comes to the race day, your body is used to whatever you're used to giving it. Yeah, so make sure you're intaking 1,000 milligrams to 1,500 milligrams of sodium per liter that you're drinking in water, and that ratio just depending on how salty your sweat is. And yeah, you should be good if you add up all those things. There are a couple other things you could be doing, like acupuncture and muscle therapy, nice warm-ups, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you do all these little things, you're probably going to minimize the chance of you getting muscle cramps. So thanks a lot for watching. Keep going after those goals.